Hi everybody, welcome back. This is part two of the 67 Bluebird. So this car came in, as you know, with the transmission bound up. Engine running really rough, rattling, choking a lot of smoke. We did pull the valve covers off and adjusted the valve train. We found cylinder number 1, both nuts had backed out and both rocker arms were loose. So we torqued everything down to Pontiac specs, which is 20 foot-pounds. They are self-adjusting. Then we went ahead and timed it. Of course, we set it at 11 degrees for this altitude. Then we did all the usual stuff. Of course, check the oil and fuel and everything else. And then we put everything back together. And we noticed a few peculiar things about this car. So, the noise didn't go away, the damage is done. So, of course, we did find the tuner. We was able to load a stoichiometric of 14.7 to 1, and the tune did take, and it smoothed the car right out. We was able to get that set. We're very happy about that. But the noise is what bothered us. So we went ahead and put a camera inside the engine, because apparently this engine may or may not have only had 1,900 miles, but when we put the camera inside the engine through the spark plug holes, we found not only were the cylinders wore out, but they had standing oil in them. This is the cross hatching that you like to see. The cross hatching is gone and the cylinders are absolutely burnt up and down with a stripe. The car is burning oil, it's using oil. Then we found the head gaskets are leaking oil. It's pouring from the head gasket straight down. So this is actually this way, if I can get that to hold. So this is the top of this is the head gasket right here. This is the oil spilling down the side of the block. This car does leave puddles. It's left 3 here during the time it's been here. What else can we say? Yeah, the engine's not new. Somebody cleaned this engine up. They painted it to make it look new, but as you can see by the spark plugs, which were also the wrong spark plugs, they were just painted inside the car. They were painted the Pontiac trademark color. So we went ahead, and they were also gapped wrong. So we went ahead and gapped them to 45 thousandths, which is what General Motors likes for an HEI ignition system, and put in the iridium tip NGKs, and that also helped. What we're finding here on this car is a lot of butt connectors, a lot of black tape, a lot of broken lines. A lot of these connectors were over crimped, which anybody that knows us knows we do not use crimps. We solder our connections. Wherever possible, we solder and use shrink tube. So we went ahead and started messing with the lighting system, which was also on the customer list. And what we found with the lighting is when you turn on the headlights, when you turn on the park lights, the front blinkers come on solid. When you turn on the headlights, they go out completely. When you turn on the blinker, if you turn on the left blinker, both blinkers blink on the front. Right blinker blinks right only on the dim section. So a lot of wiring quirks on this car, which we're happy to work out, of course. And then the taillights did work in the back, but we have no taillights in the rear. We only have blinkers and brakes. So those are both working, as you can see. And so what we found inside the trunk when we opened it was a lot of broken wires, a lot of bare wires, a lot of butt connectors, which we do not use here. We use solder and shrink tube. A lot of broken, disconnected wires. We did run our own grounds to verify that the taillights were working. So we can get past all that. That's not a problem. The problem we're having is the engine noise, which is very disturbing. So we come underneath and we found the exhaust is rubbing on the drive line here, and it's hitting on the rear end there and there. So the exhaust is misaligned. That's going to have to be heated up and moved. We found the parking brake cable was the mounting brackets. The bolts were not tightened and they were stripping out. So we went ahead and repaired that, got the parking brake cable working. And then we found the reverse light. This switch, the wires were broken. They were also butt connected and had fallen off. So we went ahead and soldered new connectors in and put in the missing screw and repaired all that. And then as you can see, the transmission is leaking oil from the front seal on the transmission. The clutch has one side of the face of the clutch disc is burnt off. The other side, the engine side, is still there. The starter has dug into the flywheel. So we believe this flywheel is original to the car, or not original to the new restoration, because the damage on the teeth is pretty drastic. So it needs a clutch, needs a flywheel. It needs at minimum the transmission front seal resealed, and then of course we have the engine, which is leaking oil. You can see from the head gaskets, it's just running down the side of the block in 3 places. The freeze plugs are rotting out and spilling coolant down the backside, which is also easily seen from under here. Other than that, I think we pretty much got it. You can see the oil it's been running down from the block, and it's been leaving puddles we've been cleaning up afterwards. So the car needs a lot more work than we was anticipating. I do not like giving bad news to my customers, especially when it's a new client that we would really like to work with. But in this situation, this engine needs to come out and it needs to be redone. The pistons are wore out. There's engine oil standing on top of the rings. There's no cross hatching. It knocks from the damage from the backed out push rods. So at minimum, it's got 2 damage lifters, and of course, you need to do them all. This engine was not rebuilt. It was just painted and made it look pretty. There's a lot of orange silicone, which we do not use. And the orange silicone is pushed out wherever they put the oil pan in and wherever the other seals are. So it's spilling a lot of oil where the new gaskets are too. So we believe this engine was pressure washed, resealed, put together, and it didn't survive. So other than that, beautiful car. We would really love to work with you on it, and hopefully we can move ahead on this. So